If you love the idea of a bunk room in your fifth wheel, but you just can't stand to sacrifice the front or back living space, which I don't blame you, then the mid-bunk will be a fantastic floor plan that combines both. If you have kids, work from your rig or RV full-time, the mid-bunk should certainly be on your list to explore. We went ahead and collected 4 from top manufacturers to not only review their approach to the mid-bunk floor plan, but also discuss and compare some features that'll vary from unit to unit. So let's go ahead and get started with one of my personal favorites, the unique Durango Gold 382 MBQ. As mentioned, this is easily one of my favorite just fifth wheel floor plans in general, but especially for mid-bunk, primarily because of this. Not only do we have a rear living in this setup and we get the mid-bunk, but we even have the rear patio. Normally you only get this on a toy hauler, but Durango has found a way to be able to include it on this floor plan, and it just really sets it apart. It's easy to set up. You can set it up with one person, has legs on the bottom for additional support, and the fact that you have just this extra square footage to use, I think is a surefire win. But it's not just about the outside. The inside has to work too. And honestly, I think they did a really good job with the Durango Gold. Right in the back, you will have 2 swivel rocker recliners. Now, they're not going to be wall huggers, so you do have to pull them out a little ways to be able to recline in them, but I do like the fact they give you the option. Normally, in a lot of rear living setups, we'd have our sofa back here, but because you have to go in and out, they move the sofa over to the side, and I think it still works. And a lot of times, we want to have a straight shot to the TV and still put our feet up, which is why they give you this ottoman right here. Plus, it has, here, let me open it this way for you, has huge additional storage, so this is perfect for throw blankets. That way you can stay nice and toasty on a cold evening. And also to aid in that, built into the entertainment center is a fireplace, so that way you have the ambiance, just really does a great job of heating this space up. Staying cool isn't an issue either, thanks to the Whisper Quiet ACs, be able to get some of that air moving. The kitchen itself is going to have a kitchen island. And again, big fan of this, very common in a lot of rear living floor plans. In order to have the island, you have to have slides on both sides, which this one obviously accomplishes. But probably most impressive is the fact that built into the island, this one has the GE Profile dishwasher. That's just, again, kind of elevating, taking that next step up. Everything about this kitchen is elevated, from the solid surface countertops to the dishwasher to the 4-burner instead of 3-burner cooktop, nice big microwave here, and a residential refrigerator. You'll also see your dinette is going to be over to the side, right there on the camp side, and for additional pantry space, we have it right here. But again, this is a mid-bunk, so you probably want to see that too. And when it comes to mid-bunks, we have a couple different designs, couple different entry points. One of them is going to be right here on the side. The other will be a hallway entry. You can see this one is an entry from the kitchen. Walking into the room, right over to the side will be a sofa. This is a tri-fold, so this does fold out into sleeping space. Bunk up top here too. But what I like about this one is the fact it has a desk, and in that desk they even give you a spot for your keyboard as well as your mouse, which is just kind of a nice little addition. Plus you have a mounted TV. So this really becomes a flexible space. It's a bunk room, it's an office, it can be a spot for movie night, or if you have kids, if they want to play video games, that is a great spot for them. You can tuck them right in there. You have all this space back here to yourself or hang out on the patio. That's what camping's about, right? Segregating our kids? No, just kidding. I kid. Obviously, there's more than enough space for everyone to hang out in all these living spaces. And when it's bedtime, if they don't want to sleep down there, I know my children, especially my 4-year-olds, love elevated spaces. A loft like this is their dream. I feel a little claustrophobic because I can't even crawl. I kind of have to army crawl up there. It is a little tight for an adult, but for kiddos, it is fantastic. Over to this side is the bathroom. Take a peek in there. You will see that we have a porcelain toilet, and there's plenty of leg room there. Nice big one-piece shower. Let me actually sneak in here just to kind of show you height. Can see here I have more than enough space, skylight up top there, seat built in. Because it's one piece, less chance for any leaks. Vanity over to the side again. Solid surface in the bathroom. That's a place a lot of manufacturers try to save a little money. That is not the case here. Good storage up top as well as down below, and this one has an on-demand water heater, so you have nearly endless hot water. The bathroom, we just saw that. The bedroom is good as well. You can see the slide out bed here with windows on both sides for cross ventilation. Big wardrobe up front with plenty of hanging space. You'll see some folding chairs for the main table there. Also, you have a clothes hamper as well as some additional storage here up top. There is washer dryer prep in here, by the way, if you want washer dryer. Dresser with a fireplace built in. And yes, that might set the mood, but more importantly is the fact that in this small space, that'll do a great job of heating your bedroom up at night. You also have some hidden storage for some of your valuables, and again, a TV right up top so you can watch a show before bed. But a luxury mid-bunk should be more than just pretty. It should be built well too, and the Durango Gold is. And it starts with good towability, which is why they give you the MORride pin box. This will give you like 3 inches of travel, so as you're starting and stopping, you won't feel that jerking motion. Probably one of my favorite pin boxes currently in the industry. Dropping down underneath, you will see plenty of storage, both up top as well as additional storage here underneath. Nice and it's not cluttered. There's not a bunch of stuff in there, which I like. Then over to the side, you will see that this one has hydraulic auto level as well as hydraulic main slides. And when we talk about slide systems, hydraulic is generally touted as the best. You'll see on this side there's battery disconnect as well as a solar charge controller, because this one does come with solar, also spot for your battery. On the other side you will find 2 30-pound propane tanks. Nice big garage storage here. Inverter over to the side because we have that residential refrigerator, so we have to have a dedicated inverter. You will also see the TV that is on a swing arm mount, so you can swing that out, be able to watch TV out here. Love that it has some of these higher end features. Also, we talked about construction. This one uses Asdel composite, which is just going to be a nicer substrate behind the fiberglass. A lot of manufacturers will use Luan, which is a wood. The issue with any kind of wood is if you get water in it, it's going to absorb that water. When you use Asdel, it's going to be lighter weight, it won't absorb water, and you're not going to have any off-gassing. So some big advantages right there. This one is rated for 4-season use, so if you're looking for full timing, you will be good, you and your family will be happy, and because you're going to be towing it around everywhere, if we drop down below, this one has the MORride 4000 suspension system, which is going to be an upgrade over most. Most have the 3000, so you get that extra inch of travel, and you have H-rated tires. Nobody wants to have a blowout. Durango knows that, and they give you the beefier tires. Lastly, around back, as I mentioned, we're going to end where we started. That is on my favorite part of this entire floor plan, which is that back patio, and you can see that it has the feet for extra support as well as the cables. Again, just a very unique and cool floor plan. But what if you don't necessarily want this? You're not an outside person. I don't know why you're camping, but if you want something a little bit different, you're looking maybe for like that sofa along the back wall, but you still want it to be high end, check out this North Point. So let's take a similar floor plan and see how a different manufacturer puts their own twist on it. This is a Jayco North Point 377 RLBH. And first off, you will notice, of course, we don't have the ramp door. And as I said, this is going to be a lot more common for your mid-bunk floor plans, where you have the sofa across the back here, theater seating in the slide out directly across from the entertainment center. Something I do really like that Jayco has done is their choice of fabric on here. It feels really nice, and I know a lot of people have pets that come with them. This is going to be a little more pet friendly. You'll also see that there's power built into the theater seats, so it is nice and easy to operate. And again, those ones are wall huggers, so they will sit right where they are. The sofa folds out into a bed, giving you additional sleeping space. That's always a plus. You can see nightstands on both sides with electrical outlets, windows all around. Again, I like the patio, but if you want to be able to see outside and don't want to have to deal with any bugs, windows are the way to go. You'll also see storage right up top, and as I mentioned, the entertainment center. This has a telescoping TV, so you just hold the button, pops right up like so. I do actually like this simply because, you know, sometimes we do want to get away from electronics, and you can drop it down. It gives the ability to just look out the window. Sound bar there, as well as the fireplace. Now, again, you can see the big kitchen island. However, you'll see that it does lack the dishwasher that we saw in the Durango Gold. One of the things I do always enjoy, though, when manufacturers do, is put a dedicated spot for a trash can, which we have right here. Nice large pantry is always a huge plus, and just in case this isn't quite enough counter space, which it is a solid surface, by the way, they give you this really nice butcher's block right here on the side. So you have a ton of additional prep space right over here. Something else I like that Jayco does is give you a drinking water faucet. And with that faucet, it actually has its own individual tank. And I enjoy that because a lot of times people don't sanitize their fresh tank like they should properly, and this pretty much eliminates any worry of bacteria or anything being in that water. We will also see that they use GE appliances, very similar to what we saw in the Durango. 4-burner cooktop. It's actually the exact same cooktop and oven combo. Up top, the same GE profile microwave. We have the air fryer built in and the same residential refrigerator. So again, some differences, some similarities. Another similarity we have is the way we get into that mid-bunk room. Now this one is going to have a barn style door, so just a little bit different on the aesthetic piece, but we enter from the kitchen. Now, again, fairly similar, but some things are slightly different. We still have our tri-fold sofa in here. We still have the bunk that drops down, but this one has a spot for a table built in, so if people want to eat in here, they have the ability to do that. And the entertainment center has kind of been shifted. Rather than being in the center, it's a little bit over to the left. You can see the desk space right there. And what they did basically is they put both of your hanging wardrobes, or not hanging wardrobes, sorry, storage on this side right over here. And so even though you don't have quite as much storage in the entertainment center area, what you do get that I really like are these deep storage bins here. Yeah, a couple of drawers down below as well, just utilizing the space. But this right here, I think, is a great addition to the space. I think, again, they both have their pros and cons, but that's just how this goes. And that's why we're comparing different mid-bunk floor plans. As we take our way up the steps, again, we have some differences. Rather than having steps built in, you have the ladder. If it were me, I would certainly prefer steps to get up and down. It makes it much easier, and honestly, the ladder kind of hurts the feet in the middle of the night, and it's really tough, especially when you have stairs here. But by having this, it gave more space in that bunk area. Moving into the bathroom, we can see, again, a little bit different design here. You have a different surround on the wall. The hand wand is laying on the floor. It should be hung up, but you can see you have the big bar right there so that you can kind of adjust where you want that hand wand to be, as well as the shelf. Still gives you a porcelain foot flush toilet there, but they went with a vessel bowl. Again, more aesthetic differences than anything else. The setup and layout is going to be pretty similar. Then stepping into the bedroom, slide out bed right over to this side here. Wardrobe up front. You'll see that you have a few motion sensor lights, drawers all down below. And this bugs me a little bit. I don't think this was intentional. If it was, technically it could be, right, as an air draw because it has washer dryer prep. But if it's not, this I just don't like. It's the small things. You know, I would have preferred it lined up. But again, without louvered doors, maybe that's how they get the air in for if in case you do opt for that washer dryer. Otherwise, they did a really good job of being able to utilize this space as storage because, believe it or not, most people do not actually opt for the washer dryer. TV up top, and then the chest of drawers right down below. And just like our end tables by the sofa, we have some hidden storage. So how does the North Point stack up for construction and towability? Well, they also decided on the same pin box because they know what's good. So they went with the More Ride pin box, which again, as I mentioned earlier, is my favorite. Dropping down underneath, they also went with hydraulic slides as well as hydraulic auto level because again, they know what's good, and it's hydraulic. You can see that you have space on both sides there. It is nice and open, which again, I enjoy. One thing I do like that they did is that they have one large door up front instead of 3 small ones. I know it's something very minor, but being someone who had to open all of them, I prefer one door. It's just a little bit easier. Something else I really like that Jayco did is this. You get a massive amount of propane. You have 3 40-pound propane tanks in here. So if you're looking to, go out and stay out for a bit and you want to be able to use heat for a while, that right there may be the selling point for you. You'll also see pretty good garage space, fairly comparable to what we had on the Durango. Back a little ways, you will see the fresh water system that I was mentioning. You can see that right there next to the inverter. So that, again, I like that especially because you just don't have to worry about it, right? It takes a lot of the fear out. You can just swap it out, put a new tank in, you're good to go. And then this is a welcome sight too, depending on what you want. If you want a back patio and hang outside, love that. Or if you want to cook outside, well, here you go. We have a few different options. So the other thing I do like about this one is that it's a good cooktop. If we take a look here, look at that. You have pulls out nice and far, just like so, and you get 3 burners on that bad boy. Nice big cooktop, because they know you have a mid-bunk, you're probably going to be cooking for a fair number of people. I like that they thought that through. Would have liked to have seen a little bit bigger refrigerator, but again, I understand size constraints, so with a little guy, I'd rather have that than nothing at all. A couple outside speakers. Something I do enjoy, right up top above the door, they basically took like a backup camera prep and put that up there. So now you have a security camera, right? I love that. I think that's a great idea, because you never know who's gonna come to your door. You wanna make sure things are safe. You can turn that on. I think that's really cool. You're gonna get Dexter Never Adjust Easy Lube axles. If we take a look at the suspension, so you'll see they have the Moride 3000 instead of the 4000, so not quite as big there. And then the tires aren't going to have quite the rating either, so a little bit less on that. They're gonna have standard construction, so we're not gonna use Astel, but they will have frameless windows, and you'll see on the big slide, they have the square frameless, which is kind of a new look. I do kind of dig that. It just, again, aesthetically, it is quite pleasing. Cable satellite TV right here in the back, but more importantly, the thing I want to talk about is that this one comes with the towing package. So if you want to have a boat or something you want to be able to tow with you and your state allows it, that is important. This one, you'll see it has a flat 3,000-pound capacity on there, so you are able to tow something behind you. So again, this is kind of the difference between a few different manufacturers and their takes on it, but there's definitely different ways to design RVs, so let's see what Solitude does. Welcome to the Grand Design Solitude 378 MBS, which is yet again another take on a mid-bunk unit. Let's start off here in the Super Slide. At first glance, I really liked the dinette. Like, it's nice and chunky, I like the boot seats, and then I went to get in it, and despite the best efforts in the gym, my legs are not that big, and you can see I'm having troubles right here. I think the seat just fell into it. That's a problem too. Oh, man. I see what they tried to do, and it's almost there, but without having an adjustable table, it's just not quite good. My opinion. I'll let you test it for yourself. That is my take. Right here though, theater seating. It's pretty tough to mess this up. Powered. I like that. Straight across from the TV. The TV is a little bit smaller than what we've seen in some of the others, bear in mind, but it is going to be telescoping, so that does drop down. Again, a little bit smaller fireplace than we've seen on some of the others as well. Along the back is the tri-fold sofa that folds out into a bed, and kind of like we saw before, instead of having storage that folds up, the storage pulls out, but you do have storage on the end tables on both sides, and you can see USB outlets in as well. I do like what they did with the window trim. It's simple, but it's functional. I am pretty happy with that. Storage all the way across the top here, lights underneath. We talked about the entertainment center pantry, adjustable shelving, love that. And then you have the pull-out shelves right down below. I kind of wish they would have finished out this like they did the front, but I understand. The kitchen island is good. The kitchen island has a ton of space right here. Lots of prep space. Big fan. You have the sink top covers, undermount, double bowl sink. I actually give them a lot of kudos for going to a double bowl when so many manufacturers right now are doing the apron front farm style. So I personally prefer a double bowl just a little bit, so glad they did that. Also, underneath, there's a spot for a trash can. If you know me, you know that I'm pretty happy with that too. As far as appliances, where some of the others had a suite of appliances, all GE, Here we kind of have a little bit of a mix and match. We have the Insignia microwave. You still get the Insignia cooktop, which I like, especially because it's the 4-burner again. So I'm glad they did a 4, not a 3. But then we go over to a Furion refrigerator here. If we take a look at this, you know, again, it's still plenty big. On the 2 previous models, we had an entrance into the bunk room. Here, we have kind of like this nice hutch area, this nice buffet with just a ton of storage. Why? Well, as we go around the corner, whoop, there we go. Here is our entrance into the bunk room. Notice something right away? Look at my ceiling height. There's no loft in this one. So while you lose that sleeping up top, what you gain is just much more usable space in the slide because they're able to bring that slide up. Now, even when the bunk is down, I can comfortably sit on the sofa. I'm not hitting my head as I sit down in this bonus room. You'll also see, again, that bunk right up top here, and you have the fan up top. Directly across is kind of that desk/entertainment system. Plenty of storage in here as well. Not quite as much as some of the others, but they still have good storage. So again, things change a little bit. You get, with taking the loft out, it allows you to sit in that sofa. If you have the loft, you gain that additional sleeping, but in its place, they put storage all the way across the top. So kind of a trade-off. You let me know which one you think is better. Put it in the comments, because I'm curious. As far as the bathroom, porcelain bowl, good countertop space, solid surface in the bathroom, like they did that. Really nice shower. It is a 1-piece shower in here. Kind of has the almost like desert sand look in the back. Nice big body sprays, and then the foldable seat. I think they did a great job on the shower. Excellent job on the faucet in here too. Aesthetically, it is very pleasing, but again, same bathroom setup that we've seen in the others, and I'm sure you're not surprised, but again, it is a very similar bedroom setup. You have the bed in a slide, big wardrobe here up front. Let me unlock that. We'll have a light here. You can see shoe storage, a little bit to the side, hanging wardrobe, and then off to the side will be our washer dryer prep or additional wardrobe space depending on what you need. TV up top, and then the dresser right down below. Once again, pretty similar bathroom and bedroom in all 3 models that we've seen so far. Let's take a look at the outside of the Solitude, and right away you can see a major difference from the others we've looked at, and that's that this one has the full body paint option. Here's the important distinction, is the others we're looking at in this list don't even have the option for full body paint. Take that for what it is. I personally am a huge fan of full body paint. It looks better, it's easier to clean, it will last longer so your RV stays looking nicer for longer. Once again, we have the MORryde pin box. I'm starting to see a trend here. Obviously, manufacturers are agreeing with my thoughts as well. Opening up the front, let's take a peek in there. Again, 1 large door, big fan of that. But this one is also 1 large compartment. You see things are not compartmentalized off to the side. For better or worse, this probably allows you to put some bigger items in there. I'm not mad about it. It just kind of depends on what you want. Once again, you can see our hydraulic fluid over to the side. I guess it's not yours, this unit's. But they also understand the importance of hydraulics, so they have hydraulic jacks as well as your hydraulic slides on the main slide boxes. But again, that full body paint is beautiful. And the thing about full body paint, not only is the paint nicer, but a lot of times the fiberglass has to be upgraded over what a lot of manufacturers use, because if you paint bad fiberglass, you're gonna see all the striations and it just looks bad. Frameless windows, which is kind of what we've seen on some of the others. If we take a look at the pass-through, again, nice and large because of drop frame construction. You will also see that you have an outside kitchen on this floor plan as well. So that's a couple of them with the outside kitchen here. This one even has hookups for a TV. The griddle is a little bit smaller. Let me pull that out. And I don't necessarily like the setup as much because you have to flip this over and you have to flip it back in order to properly store it. It will not store if you put it back in the use position, so to speak. So as far as outside kitchens, I'm gonna tilt a little bit in the favor of the Jayco. Making our way back a little further, again, same steps, big grab handle here, 2 awnings, nothing that we haven't seen before. If we look at the suspension, this one has the MORryde 3000, but this one does have your H-range tires for your load range. So again, you're going to have bigger tires, being able to carry heavier loads. You will see the speakers right outside here, and then the rear ladder on the back. And once again, if you're looking to tow a boat or another trailer and the state allows it, this one also has the flat 4 with the hitch that can tow 3,000 pounds. A lot of people, myself included, can't necessarily afford a $100,000 RV like the last 3 we've seen. So what other options are there if you want a mid-bunk? Well, this Jayco Eagle right here is the perfect example. This one is going to be anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 less than some of the others that I have shown you today. So let's walk through this one, see some of the differences and how Jayco kind of put a spin on the Eagle to be able to get that price point. So right over here is the dinette, and they kind of have a blend, right? You have one kind of booth seat here or stool. You'll see that there is good storage inside, and this is completely removable. I actually like this because you can take it over to the sofa, and even though it doesn't blend perfectly with the colors if it's over there, it kind of acts like an ottoman, which I'm a fan of. The other side, you will see 2 chairs, and there's a leaf here for some extra space. Slide out, you know, it is going to be a nice big super slide. It is the same flooring all the way through, so it's nice and seamless. You have the theater seating, once again, directly across from the TV with the soundbar and fireplace there. A little bit bigger TV than what we saw in the last model. And once again, you have the sofa along the back. That is a trifold that pulls out. You don't have any storage in your end tables, but you know, you do have windows on the side as well as the back and additional storage across the top. Taking a look at the kitchen itself, still gets solid surface. That's pretty impressive. High-rise pull-out faucet. Because it's Jayco, they give you the drinking water faucet. This one, however, is actually going to be located. You can see the bottle is located right down there. So, you know, it might be a little bit harder to get in and out, but it is easy access. Because you don't have to go outside to get to it. You'll also see the trash can there, and this one does have the undermount double bowl stainless steel sink. This is a little bit different too. You have the power tower over to the side, which is actually kind of nice. If you need like a toaster or something, you can put it there, and you still have pretty good countertop space. You'll notice that what they did is they cut this part back a little bit to allow for the refrigerator, so when the slide comes in, it does, or rather it can come in without banging into the countertop. Drawers all the way down there. It does still have a pantry, which is great. So you can see the pantry right over to the side. You still get the multiplex controls that we had in the Jayco North Point. So still has nice controls. We take a look at some of the appliances though, and we start to see a few differences. Microwave's not quite as nice. It's not going to be an air fryer. However, the cooktop is still going to be the same GE profile we've seen in some of the other models. That is a 4-burner cooktop. And just so you know, this has a massive oven. If you haven't seen it on the GE profiles, they have a huge oven. So if you're one that does like to bake, that is an excellent unit. And then we have the Everchill compressor-driven refrigerator. So this will be 12 volt. Again, not quite as much space as we see in the residential models, but still pretty darn good. We take a look here, and you'll see, again, a little bit different take on what we have on the coffee bar. This is going to be over to the side storage. Open it up just to kind of show you. It is going to be pretty good storage. This is an adjustable shelf, so you can put that down, but there are hooks up there. So if you want to use this as a coat rack, you can do that too. But again, some pretty good storage. So if this is going to be like the coffee bar area, that means our entrance into the bonus room or the mid-bunk is going to be here. You will see that this one is a loft. So it kind of is a blend of what we've seen in the past couple units. It's going to be the hallway entry, but it is going to be lofted. You can see the bunk right back here. Now when that bunk is down, there's no way you're gonna have headroom on the couch, right? And even when the bunk is up, it's still you're gonna kind of tap it a little bit on the back. It's not bad, but you know, again, when you don't have that loft, as I showed you in the Solitude, it just brings everything up. This does fold out into a bed, as you would expect, but you don't really have a lot of storage in here, right? You have a desk, and you have a little bit of storage up top, spot for a TV, so you can have a TV there, but that's really all that's in here. So this one is gonna be more of an office or a gaming room than it would be a true bunk room, because it's just really not a good place for clothing. As we come up the stairs, you will see they also went with a ladder in lieu of steps, and then you have the teddy bear bunk mattresses right up top here, so you can sleep 2 kiddos up here if you so choose. But again, that loft does give you that extra kind of place for people to sleep. If we take a look at the bathroom, same setup as we've seen before, but again, things are gonna be a little bit different. Instead of having a one-piece shower like we had in some of our luxury units, you're going to have a shower pan with a surround. It is a decorative surround, still looks nice, but you know, again, not quite to the same level. And then you will also see that you don't have like a tower. It's just going to be the shower wand. Vanity right over to the side, storage down below that, and then the mirrored medicine cabinet. Coming into the bedroom here, we'll have our second Whisper Quiet AC, which it is on, by the way. Can barely hear it. Slide out bed still, again, kind of what we have seen in all the other models. This is, when it comes to a mid-bunk, I haven't really seen a lot of unique setups in the bathroom and bedroom. This is pretty much how all of them have been. Like I said, with just some subtle tweaks. You'll see the wardrobe space going to be right up here. This one does have washer dryer prep, but it'll be over to this side, so you can still have that. Big window, dresser comes up a little bit more, but you do still have a spot for a TV. So let's take a look at the outside features of the Jayco Eagle. Once again, we'll start off on the Kingpin. As you will see, they use a Rhino box and not the MORryde, but it's a little bit cheaper, right? 15, 20 grand, that makes a big difference. Dropping down underneath, we'll see it's open, not quite as big as some of the other storage on the other RVs, and also we go to electric auto level rather than hydraulic. You'll have 2 30-pound tanks on here. You still get a pretty decent size garage storage. It is nice and open. You will also notice that you get an outside kitchen here. They utilize what's called the J-port, which is this right here. Essentially, it's going to be a receiver. So you can take this arm, you can put the arm in there, you have the sink, and then you have the grill that you can mount to that as well. It's an option. I personally don't necessarily love it just because it's a lot of work to constantly set up and take down. But if you set it up and leave it up, you know, the whole week while you're at camp, it's better than nothing, right? It's pretty good. Coming around to the side, you can see the refrigerator here as well as electrical outlet, and then drop this down, you can see the outside shower, so you have water access there. Speakers, in case you want to listen to some music outside, same steps as we've seen, same grab handle. All this is going to be provided by MORryde. And just like we saw in the North Point, this one has that option for a security camera right up above the door. You'll also still see 2 awnings on here, which I like. Once again, this one will have the towing package on there, so if you need to tow something behind you. And then right here is the rear mounted ladder, so you can climb up onto the fully walkable roof. And as you would expect, all these fifth wheels, folks, have a fully walkable roof. But here's the real question. If you could make a perfect mid-bunk fifth wheel, what would you do? Would you change something on one of these? Would you combine some things or do something completely different altogether? Let me know in the comments section. Until next time, we'll see you.